One way to tarnish your retirement years is to let someone scam you out of your hard-earned retirement money. It's such a common problem that the internet is also full of people turning the tables and spoofing the scammers.
I bought it from the dealership.
Right, you're past due on your loan.
Past due on my loan, you say?
Well, we need to set up a payment.
Well, then let's do it.
All right, can you give me your routing number?
And if I give it to you and then all of a sudden our bank account's drained to zero.
When are you going to make a payment?
When are you going to send me the money for it?
I'm not sending you money to make your payment.
Well, how come?
Why? Sir, goodbye.
All right, well, when scammers used to call my mom, she started asking what they were wearing. Okay, all joking aside, anyone can be scammed, but it can be tougher for seniors on a fixed income. Every day they lose hard-earned money they'll never get back. Joining us with the red flags and most popular scams to look for and some guidance in finding ethical businesses is Dan Parsons, CEO of the Better Business Bureau of Greater Houston and South Texas. Good morning.
That's great.
Right. Oh, yeah, you should have seen my mom at 96 going, "Can I ask you what you're wearing?" Right, then they just hang up, right? Okay, Dan, let's start with a lot of us grew up hearing about the BBB, but what was the genesis and what is the purpose?
100+ years, nonprofit of companies. We're made up of businesses, and they're legitimate, reputable companies that go through a screening process to be with us, to get to say that they're part of the BBB, that they're accredited through us. And then the operational side of our bureau handles the stuff you're talking about. Protecting people from scams, handling complaints. We get about 30,000 a year.
30,000 complaints a year.
In a city like Houston,
yeah.
It's a big city.
Yeah.
I've seen it in higher numbers during certain times when, like, telemarketing fraud was high.
Yeah.
So we mediate disputes between consumers. The education piece is huge. Like you mentioned, seniors. Most seniors are very savvy, but you're absolutely correct on one thing. There's a level where they can hit them. Like the guy having fun with the phone.
Yeah.
He's great on that. Now let me try him on the jury duty scam.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Let's see if he goes
well,
for
here's
that.
the deal. When you say who's most likely to be scammed, it's anyone, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
All right. No one's immune to it. Okay. There are some red flags to look for. One's the sense of urgency. We saw it in that piece where they're like, you got to pay it now. I'm going to come get the car. I got to pay it now. You didn't reach out to them. That's another one that you've always been big about. It's like, did you call them?
I hate to be antisocial. I don't like inbound calls, emails, texts, whatever. I'm suspicious. Yeah. Whatever happened to the days of let it go, beep, I'll come back in 5 minutes, or when I have my sweet time to take a look and go, is this really something?
Yeah.
And then I'll deal with it. Everyone feels pressured. Hey, you know what? Maybe this is a public service to take your blood pressure down a little too. Yeah. Do it. Don't just use the word urgency. That's what it is. It's a sense of urgency that makes you make bad decisions.
Yeah. Also, anyone asking for sensitive information, my favorite is when the bank is asking for your routing number,
Like on that guy's case, Ms. Banker, you should have everything.
Yeah.
Why are you playing this little fencing game with me?
And then the other one that is just so crazy because people fall for it all the time, it is really too good to be true.
Do you know when that expression was coined?
When?
1890.
Oh, wow.
By a carnival barker in Philadelphia. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Why has it been around for over 100 years?
Yeah, because we're human beings, right? Okay. Request for prepaid cards or wire transfers, that's always a big one too, and claims of 100% guarantee on your investment there. Okay, let's start with some of the most common scams. A knock at the door, a lot of home improvement ones, and the hard part with older people, let's say if something's wrong with your roof, are you going to get up there and see?
Here's a dumb question. If there's a problem and this contractor is that good, why have they got time to call on you? Okay, instead of doing traditional advertising or marketing on their own. Now there could be problems, and then it goes back to the okay. You say I have this. Show me what your proof is, and now I want to get 2 or 3 other bids.
Now a lot of times we find these home improvement scams that kind of tick up is after a disaster, and then you get people who knock on the door and say, "Hey, we can do," and it's like, and you're right, all the other ones legitimate are busy,
right?
But you've even seen, I know you've shared with us before, people who when they know there's a disaster, they'll come down from Montana or wherever. And have business cards made up that make them look legitimate.
And Deborah, it's a bit of a mixed sword because, like when we've had hurricanes, there is real need. So,
and we will get some people come in from out of state.
So sometimes we're like, thank God you're here from Memphis. You know, we need you. But as you point out, it's doing the research and not immediately responding to everything you see. That's the trick.
And the cash up front thing.
Right. Any contractor deal, there's an old rule in the industry. Anyone, I dare you to bring anyone who works in home services on this program, and they'll tell you, oh, Deborah, it's the thirds. Third down, third mid-job, third at completion, and I don't sign that completion certificate till it's complete.
Yeah.
And then you get your money.
Yeah.
If people did that, we would not have all the front-end money lost.
All right, big online scams, and they say like the group most likely to be scammed is actually 18 to 24. They're the ones who are probably online all day long, right?
Playing with it,
yeah. But the problem with a lot of seniors is they don't understand some of that stuff as well.
Right.
And so online scams is kind of like when you're online, you're leaving the front door open. So don't click on unfamiliar links. This happens or can happen to everybody.
I'm embarrassed to tell you how many times at my office I've clicked on something and our IT people have to come down and straighten me out. Because you know, I swore that was going to be a bit, and it was not. And there, Dan, look where you work.
Yeah.
You know, so Deborah, I would broaden it. Yes, it's younger people for a certain reason. It's older people for a certain reason, and it's those of us that are in the twilight of our career that aren't thinking.
Yeah,
it's
all right.
everybody.
Emails. Okay, I got an email from my bank, and I almost clicked it, but then I thought, well, wait a minute, because it was asking for that information. I'm like, but it looked legitimate. It was the bank logo. It was the whole bit. So I picked up the phone, called the bank, and said, hey, and they went, that not us.
Beautiful.
Not us. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You did the right thing. But because banks do use email communication, it is one of the forms. So unfortunately, it's real, or the use of it's real. This one wasn't. You did the right thing. You stopped it.
All right. A friend of mine, she was on her computer, and then she got a phone call. They said, are you having problems? Is your computer slow? Is it this? Well, it's going to be slow because of this. Hey, listen. And they talked her into handing over control, basically.
Oh, wow.
And once that happened, again, the whole door is open. And then when she realized it, she couldn't take the control back. So, again, somebody calling you to tell you that you're having computer problems.
It's the inbound thing. Why? You know, if this is true, why did this suddenly happen to me now? You've got to stop. The world's not going to end. Even I was saying, wait a little bit of time to research it. Even if it's a couple of days, the world is not going to end.
Yeah.
And if it does end, okay, then you need a computer repair.
Yeah, right.
But you were going to need it anyway.
Right,
and this
right.
way you didn't give up all your stuff.
All right. Some people feel like the world's going to end if I don't find that love of my life.
Yeah.
Romance scams.
Oh,
It's just
man.
probably one of the oldest one in the book, but it just changes mediums. And so online or even just phone calls, that happens.
I can't believe people fall for these.
Yeah.
And they're pathetic because it's people that are, it's emotional.
Yeah.
It's your money and your emotions. You're messing with both of them. And when you see the amounts of money in some of these, it's their life savings.
Yeah.
Do they really think that actor or actress or celebrity or rock star is really out there looking for them?
Yeah, well, the too good to be true thing too. Yeah.
Right, and sometimes they can't even get family to get them off the ledge.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, I know this is real. The regulators and even like family members work hard at this one. This is a tough one.
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
This
Well,
is
I remember the
this is
first time
harder in the days when, like, you go in the bank and the banker would say, your mom's taken. Even those they can kind of
Yeah.
handle. The romance scams are real bad.
Yeah. I remember
bad.
when I first got online on Facebook, the very first person that came through to be a friend of mine said, I'd like to date you. And he was in a military uniform because they knew that I was a military brat, and that would speak to me, right?
Clever.
And I was like, okay. He was in a military uniform, and I said, well, what do you do? And he goes, oh, I'm the general in Iraq. And so all this stuff. So I went ahead and called my friend who really is the person who was over the base in Iraq. And I go, do you know this guy? He's like, no. So
I don't know,
anyway,
you might have missed out.
But my big thing was like, how are we supposed to date? First of all, I'm married, but how are we supposed to date when you're in Iraq and I'm in Houston,
But
Texas?
before you date, you're going to be sending a lot of money over.
Right.
So forget the love and
He'll
roses.
pay me back when he gets back here.
Yeah.
So if you have parents or grandparents who are falling for that, just always check with me, just like you used to check with me when I was dating somebody.
Exactly.
All right. Disaster scams. I touched on that a little bit earlier, but always question when somebody's raising money for a cause, because we know things like the Salvation Army, the Red Cross. We know those organizations, but then there's these groups that pop up. There's no guarantee that the money they raise is really going for the cause.
You touched on something that I didn't mention at the beginning. We monitor nonprofits and we report on them. And Houston's got some very fine ones, as you well know.
Yeah.
But there's also ones that pop up, just like you're talking about, out of the blue. And the trick is, where's the accountability for the funds? So ones that are not vetted, haven't been out, you're better to wait a little while. Find out are they IRS approved?
Yeah.
Because if they're not, let me just play a bad scenario for a second. You go ahead, you make a donation, you try to do a tax write-off on it. Guess what? It's going to kick your return back.
Yeah. Wow.
You open a big hornet's nest.
Yeah. And then there are other things that it's a gray area because they're legitimate. Like we'll hear one in just a little bit about Medicare. People will help you with your Medicare plans. Right. So totally legitimate. They give you the service for free. They help guide you through it. However, you can get a phone call from someone. It's like, yes, I'm here to help you, and this is the plan you should. They switch you to a plan that's really not good for you. They're getting commissions off of it.
Right.
And they also are harvesting personal information.
Yes.
And so make sure you know who you are dealing with.
You're in the season for this, and you're going to get that.
Exactly, because we're in open enrollment in just a little bit. Okay, so check the BBB ratings before you hire somebody.
Yeah, if anybody below an A or an A+, I'd be very nervous about. You know what I'm even more nervous about? When people call and we have nothing. There's no file. We don't have any information on this business. Really? How long have they been around?
Yeah.
They haven't even had a chance to show you what they might or might not do on a review or a complaint. I have as much nervousness on that as I do with the F ratings, to be honest with you.
All right. I have the honor of emceeing the BBB Awards for Excellence every year.
Totally our honor.
It is so much fun because you see what keeps Houston moving.
Yeah.
We celebrate that. You look across the room of all these people with all these businesses that work hard every day. They employ people. They put money into our economy. But you had Pinnacle Award winners in various categories, whether it was health or home improvement or whatever. But for the first time, you have an overall winner.
Yeah. Olshin Foundation.
Yeah.
Longtime member. But full disclosure, our staff, the BBB, the board, we don't judge the awards.
Right.
We use a group called the Silver Fox Advisors, retired business people, pros at what they do. And they've been doing this for several years. And it's a localized version of the Malcolm Baldrige Award.
Yeah.
It's an excellence award. So they went in and did the 31 pinnacle categories, all the others, and the ultimate. First time the ultimate award.
Well,
for
congratulations to them because I know
you.
there are so many people who qualified.
That
so
was a
had
big
to be
room.
tough.
We had a lot of people in there.
Yeah. Well, Dan, thank you very much for what you've
Thank
done over the
you.
years and
Thank
trying
you.
to protect our pocketbooks. The BBB's free scam tracker tool, they have a free scam tracker tool, can help you report fraud and see what scams are happening in your area. Just go to bbb.org/scam